And we are live. Hey, what's up? And we live, oh, what's up? And we live, oh, what's up? And I'm back like I never left. What's happening? Hey, what's happening? Hey, shake it off. Shake it, what? Shake it, what? Do, what? What's good, all my shooting stars? It is your favorite non-binary supernova, Dean Curtis, and I am back from my hiatus. What's up? Oh, it is good, you guys. It has been such a long time since we've spoken with each other. First of all, how y'all doing? Everything's good. Good to see everybody. I'm still to see. I see a couple. Oh, I see my first responders in the building. I see you. I like my notification girls. I see y'all. Let me know that y'all still locked and loaded and ready to go. I appreciate that. But you all see the title. You all know why we're here. So grab your wine, get your snacks, come on back, and let's have a quick story time.
Can't take what's rightfully mine, you need a wake-up call. I'm here to give it to you, and I won't stop till I have it all. Yeah, see my name in flashing lights on the stage, I'm on my grind. You hating ass bitches, and in my thoughts I got money on my mind. That's why they call me Young Hollywood, the kid is just that goddamn good. Walk through your streets, every nigga in your hood know my goddamn name. Since the age of 13, look back.
First of all, I do want to say it feels good to be back with you guys. I missed y'all. Y'all know I love when we together and I hate when we are apart. But, with life, certain things happen and things change, and unexpectedly, some things pop up and you gotta dial back and, take care of yourself. And that's what I had to do. But I guess in order for you to understand what's been going on, we need to start from the beginning. So let's go take a trip back in December, why don't we? When I say it's been crazy, it's an old saying, and I think I've said it in multiple videos. If you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. And when I say, I thought I had a sick sense of humor, God literally has a twisted, sick sense of humor. And when you don't do what he tells you to do, he definitely has a way of grabbing your attention, okay? So, for those of you who don't know, there's a such thing called seasonal depression. And seasonal depression is very much a real thing. I know a lot of people don't think that depression is real, or, they don't believe in the mental health, which is, I don't understand how. We have lost so many great people. We have lost loved ones. We have lost celebrities. We have lost great pioneers to any aspect of this industry, to depression. And a lot of creative people, I tend to find, battle with depression a lot more. Well, I'm not gonna say a lot more, because a lot of people suffer in silence. But my creative people who are not on the, I want to say not normal, but we gotta change that. We gotta change that. The wordplay that we use. I don't want to say not normal, because what is normal nowadays? But I think creative people suffer from depression a lot more than non-creative people. So because you constantly, not even just depression, it's mental health is in itself, because you constantly are at a battle with a reality, which is your day-to-day, 9 of every day, to what you envision and what you see for your future and what you see for your life. And I think mental health is a lot of that in creative people, because you have got to survive. You got to have your 9 to 5. You got to have your steady income while you're chasing this dream and this goal of being what you see, what you envision, and making that become reality. And it's hard for you to do that, because then you have a support system, But then a lot of people is just like, oh, go get a job, or, oh, you living in a fairy tale world. It's never going to happen. They don't quite support your dream. So they don't really give you the type of support that you need. So mentally, it weighs on you heavier because you're constantly battling yourself, doing what makes you happy, what gives you joy, what allows you to wake up every day, versus the necessary things that you need to do every day to survive. Because existing and surviving are two totally different things. If you are living every day just existing and not living in your purpose, then mentally you're not going to be happy. You can have all the money that the government can give you, you can have all the money that you can make in the world, but if you aren't doing what you want to do, what you feel like you're put on this earth to do, you're not going to be happy. And during this pandemic, I have discovered the changes in my wants and the changes in the things that makes me happy. So so you're going about this in a day-to-day. So back in December, everything was going great. But normally for me, December, January, and February are always my hardest months. It's the end of a year. It's Christmas time. I struggled with Christmas time growing up after the passing of my mom. That was always a holiday for her. That she not installed in us like you gotta get gifts, you gotta do things. It was more so just like the family aspect I got it from it. The making sure that people are happy, seeing your loved ones smile. And my mom would literally give her last dime growing up. She would do whatever it took to make sure that we had Timberland boots, that we had first down coats. Like growing up, like she made sure every year we had some boots. Like she wouldn't care. She would give her last just to make sure that we were happy. And once that was taken away, it was hard, because you hold things in over years. So growing up from, like I said, I lost my mom at 9. Growing up, I always developed this type of anger around Christmas time, this type of, like resentment around Christmas time. I have to be alone, I've been this way for years. So now, fast forward into my adult life, it's kind of routine for me to have certain feelings around Christmas time. But recently, the past few years, I started changing that. I started working on, changing the narrative of rewriting my own history for like the future. You don't want to always dwell on the bad things. You don't want to always remember the negative. You want to start making new memories so you can feel better during these times. That's what I've learned in my years of therapy. So like I said, December, January, February always are tough months for me, but I just recently been trying to change the narrative. This 2020 December, everything was shockingly different. I wasn't having those same old feelings. I wasn't being negative. I was actually looking forward to Christmas time, December 2020. Even spending all that time in the pandemic, I was just more appreciative of recognizing and being thankful of the family and the time that we have here, So it's like I wanted to be more engaging. I wanted to get gifts. I wanted to do things like that now, whereas so I haven't never necessarily been that type of wanting to do. So this year was different. I was enjoying Christmas time, even though with the pandemic we didn't gather with our family and stuff like that, but I was still feeling joyful. I was watching Christmas movies. The Christmas movie with Ashanti, a Christmas song, a winter Christmas song. I watched that one multiple times, and I found joy in that. And also, this year it felt different because my cousin, her Lifetime movie, A Christmas for Mary. That when that came out, literally, I felt like because my family couldn't be together this year, when we were so proud of her that it was like we spiritually came together as a family to support her movie. Like, everyone was watching, everyone was promoting, everyone was talking about it. And it allowed me to be joyful this Christmas. And like, that's something I tried to explain to my cousin, and I don't know if I could. I don't know if I got through to her, but like us, it felt good to have my family. Like, I don't know. It's like her movie brought to me us, like, it brought a sense of union to the family this year that quarantine and corona tried to take away. So I was, I was in great spirits around this time. I was excited. I watched her movie multiple times and it left me feeling good. So I was really eager to push through and experience a type of new aura around Christmas time. And of course, it wouldn't be my luck without feeling great. Of course, there's trials and tribulations that come right behind it. I got a phone call, an ex-employee of mine, and when I answered the phone call, it wasn't her, it was her mom. I automatically knew that this was a red flag because she was calling me from her phone. And what it was, her mom was calling to let me know that she had passed away. And it didn't hit me at first once I got the news, because I automatically went into protection mode of her mom. It was because I knew her and her mom were very close. I knew they were, they reminded me of how me and my dad had grown to be. When my dad had got sick and had a heart attack, I dropped everything and went back home to be by his side. And when I say I dropped everything, I was in the middle of filming a web series. I was in the middle of, finally doing what I felt as though was right for me and my passion and moving forward. But I gave that all up because my dad needed me. And I don't regret it, but it just made me, it made me take things and put it in a different perspective as far as like my wants and my needs, and as far as what I was willing to give up to actually see my dreams come true. So when I thought, like I said, when I heard about her passing, I automatically thought about her and how close her and her mom was. So it was just how, like anything I can do for you. It didn't click and register to me that this is someone that I'm used to seeing every day for the past 4 or 5 years that I would no longer see. So, once her mom had told me about that, it was now my duty for being, the assistant manager at that job, was to contact the rest of the employees. Now, here I am on it was the day before Christmas Eve when I got this information. And it's like, I haven't spoken with some of these ladies since, we closed in August, due to COVID and the pandemic. So it was weird for me to now have to pick up the phone and say, hey, I know we haven't spoken in some time, and I know tomorrow is Christmas Eve, but I just wanted to pass along the message that our beloved, so-and-so had passed away. And I struggled with that. I didn't want to be the person to share that news right before Christmas. I was going to try to do it until after New Year's. But like it made me question, like, if the shoe was on the other foot, would you be upset if someone didn't tell you, that this person had passed away? So I battled with whether I was going to rely on information right now before Christmas or not. And of course, I went ahead and chose to let the information out because it was just something I felt everyone would want to have known, despite it being the day before Christmas. But I've reached out to the other team members and I let them know the same news. And we got together, we went to the viewing, and the viewing was the first week of January in the funeral. It was cliche. It didn't hit me until I seen her in the casket that she was really gone. And when you see somebody your age, it always bothers me. Like, death always bothered me. But seeing people my age is what kind of hit home. Because then I remember the conversations that we had. I remembered all the the talks that me and her had about where we were in life and how we felt about everybody else around us in life and moving forward, and do we, we had some real talks, and I appreciated her friendship so much, because when I wasn't able to be there for myself, like mentally, when I was mentally checked out at work because there was just so much going on, or she always had my back. She knew, she literally, like, this girl paid attention. She knew my coffee order. She knew what I wanted for lunch. When, like, oh, when I work, because by you being a manager, you don't always get breaks. You don't always get to be able to eat. You don't always get a chance to just relax. And like I say, the girl always had my back. She would order my food. She would, make sure I'm eating lunch. She would make sure, she would stay late even though she had a whole nother job. Like, she was just a real friend. She would have my back when I could fall back and relax. And that was something I was going to cherish, that it's now gone. We would ride home together. We had certain songs, playlists that was our songs, and like when it came on in the store, when it came on in the car, like, these are songs and memories now that I'm going to have to cherish with me. And here I go, feeling so great about this new, having a great feeling about Christmas time now, and it was now being not overshadowed, but now it came with the realization of seeing my friend in a casket. So that played a big part in my depression that I didn't know was creeping up. Seeing her in that casket, it didn't do me well. It did something to me that, like, normally I don't know what you expect when you see someone in a casket, but it had a negative effect on me. I haven't seen someone in a casket in a long time, and it was rough, because there was one point in my life where all my mentors and all my close people who I felt were closest to me were passing, and this just kind of took me back to that, and I haven't been in that space in a very long time. So that was December into January, and now I'm starting to realize, it put me in protective mode. I just couldn't figure out why. We're not supposed to question him. We are all his children. He only lent the spirits to the human flesh and allowed them time on this earth as he saw fit. You don't question his doing. But I just didn't see him taking her as the right move. And it made me, question a lot of, well, if the shoe was on the other foot, had that been me, had it been, my dad who had passed or something like that, how would you be able to pick up and keep moving forward? And I struggle with that. I gotta be honest. I know I will be okay, but I struggled with that. It made me it took me back to, it sounds selfish, but it took me back to when I almost lost my dad. Then my whole world came crumbling down. Like, it made me want to cherish him more. It made me want to be around him more. It made me want to just love on him. It made me want to just be around, appreciate the times that I'm having with my dad and my loved ones now, seeing her pass away. And now we're in this new year, 2021. I'm a part of this group, Be More Indie. We have so much in store. So it's like, I had great things to look forward to. But in the same time, I am now questioning, like, God's timing of, well, you only got a certain amount of time left. You only got days to do this. You can't, I was starting to try to cram everything that I wanted to do back into, I got to hurry up and get it out before life gets me. I started doing that again. And when I get in that mode, it's never good, because I start to zone out. I start to not sleep. I start to not focus on one thing. I gotta do this before life gets me. I gotta do this before I die. I gotta make this person happy. I gotta make this accomplishment come true. Because tomorrow's not promised to anybody. And it's good to feel like that, but it's not good to have your mind mentally rapid like that, thinking, oh my God, you're racing against death, because you're never gonna be in the forefront. Like, you can't cheat death. But it made me want to feel like I had to get things out, which I was burning myself out. I was running thin. I was going on days and not sleeping. She was visiting, like, I was having dreams, memories about her, and then you start mentally, it starts, you're not sleeping and going days without sleeping, you're not making the best decisions. So I started realizing, like, not leaving my room, not leaving my house, not, posting on social media, not wanting to be bothered, because I started finding things, like the minuscule things were now being blown to me. They were being triggers to me. I was blowing up and wanting to lash out at stupidity, or lash out at people that I saw or I felt like was wasting my time or wasting lifetime. So I felt me being in therapy, I felt like I was my triggers. I felt like I was being triggered. I just wasn't happy. So I knew that I had to fight and get out of this funk. In the same time I'm going through these things, I'm also having problems within my relationship. It was just, my partner was, seeing things like a disconnect in me. And it was hard, because I was constantly thinking about other people and protecting them. I didn't want, whenever I'm going through something, I'm not the type that can say, hey, I'm going through this and I need help. Especially when it comes to my depression. It makes me feel like it's just so much that I wouldn't put that on anybody. I don't want my loved ones to worry. I don't want my loved ones to be concerned. And it's hard when I'm in it to say, hey, you guys, I just, I'm going through. And because I just don't want them to pressure. I already feel like the weight of the world is on my shoulders when I'm in that moment. I don't like to feel like I'm putting that on anybody, my loved ones, the people that care about me. So people were starting to reach out. People were starting to notice, that I haven't been as active as I normally am on social media, that I haven't been my boisterous, loud self. And it was creating concern from my loved ones. So in the meantime, like, I'm noticing that I'm venturing out in these dark places in my mind, and I'm wanting to get out, and I'm doing everything that I've been taught to pull myself out, but I'm simply not being able to pull myself out. And that's when I knew that it was very bad. Normally you can, you go through a few weeks, you have some dark moments, but then you see that light at the end of the tunnel. This time that light was not there. At the end of the tunnel, there was no light. And by it getting that dark, I hadn't been there in a long time. So it frightened me, because it was like, if you can't pull yourself out, who's gonna do it for you? Because, it's a scary place to feel like you're alone and you're going through, and you can't get yourself out. I hadn't been there in so long that it made me that much scared, and I felt in a deeper depression, trying to remove myself from the state of mind that I was in. And at this time, I'm now getting ready to film for Be More Indie. For those who don't know, I'm a part of a group of talented individuals who decided to come together and display our talents. We are called Be More Indie. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the Be More Indie YouTube channel. And make sure you follow Be More Indie on Instagram and like Be More Indie on Facebook. But at this time now, like, we were starting to gear up to start shooting our first episode of Be More Indie for season 1. So I had auditions coming up. I had scripts to read and things like that. So I used that to pull myself out a little bit. It was just like, okay, you got something to focus on. You got something to move forward on. You got something to, something that you want to something that you look forward to doing. So you got something to motivate you to get up and to keep going. I didn't know, like, they wanted, you had to audition. So coming up, you had to audition for the episode. I wasn't in the best headspace, so I really wasn't eager to be in episode 1. So it was like, I want to audition. I want to show, I don't want them to know that I'm having a moment, I'm going through the depression. So it was like, I gotta protect my space. I gotta, I gotta fake the funk. I gotta show face and let them know that I'm okay. So it's like, you gotta show up. You gotta do what you do. So we ended up having to audition for the first, the spot that you wanted. So mentally, I was fucked up. Like, I was not in a headspace to be auditioning for anything, but I desperately wanted to, be there and show them that I was gonna be here. That it was like I had to push it off, push it to the back of my mind. I put it on the face. I showed up. I read. I tried to audition, and whatever. So working on that, it was like you constantly battling yourself. You're here in the flesh, but mentally you're checked out. I was not there doing the first gatherings. Mentally, I was checked out. Even down to the first episode, the day of filming, like, I didn't sleep. It is film day. First episode for Be More Indie, and I have been up for 48 hours. Literally, I haven't slept. And now I have to be on set today. This is going to be, but we're going to push through it, because that's what we do. I was up 48 hours the day before our first day of filming. It was just so bad, like, not sleeping. When you're either manic or you're depressive. Like, when you're manic, you be up for days and days straight, like, not sleeping, not being able to formulate a thought, like, get up, brush your teeth, wash your face, go, you're okay. Like, focus on what you need to do what you gotta do. Like, it just your mind is so misconstrued. You have so many thoughts racing in your mind, from this to that, that you just be like a zombie. But I pushed through. I showed up. I did what I showed up. We filmed. I didn't let, no one could tell. I hid behind a smile, and I pushed through. I had let one person on set know. And I just told her, like, I started opening it up, because it was like, you want to tell the people that you're working with what you're dealing with, so they know, because you automatically know that somebody around you is going to pick up on what you're going through, So it's like, you try to let somebody in, but you don't want to, you're trying to build this relationship with these people. You don't want to be like, oh, hey, I'm not having one of the best days. I'm feeling a little depressed today. Like, I haven't slept in 2 days, but I'm here to film. Like, you mentally get inside your own head, and you think someone's going to judge you. You don't care who it is, whether it's your loved one. You just don't want to put all that weight on somebody. And then it's that feeling of, oh, like, is everything okay? You got to go through that. And are you genuinely concerned, or are you going to turn your back and be like, oh, this mofo crazy? Like, you just don't know. So you hide. You hide the things that you're going through and from the people. And I don't know, something just told me I didn't have to hide. So I let a person in, and one of my coworkers in Be More Indie, and she was just amazing. Like, she was there, she understood, and we chatted, we talked, we had talks, and it really helped me to know, like, I was surrounded by like-minded individuals, loved ones, people that care. So it was just like, whatever you need, just let us know, and we'll work. We'll accommodate it. So it that made me feel good. So I was able to push through that, and that was a good lesson to me, because I view it as, say I made it big, and mental health is something that is going to last for the rest of my life. I spent time in therapy to understand, to identify these things. And although you say, you want to be normal, you want to feel normal or whatever, the chemical imbalance is just something that's always been there. It's just something that's always going to be there, and you have to learn to deal with it. It's not nothing to be ashamed of. It's not nothing to feel inferior or want to hide. It's something just like, hey, some people has asthma, some people are bipolar, some people, have different things going on. It just it's your genetic makeup. It makes me who I am. I'm loud, I'm playful, I'm loving, I'm truthful, I'm a great person, but that all comes with my depression, my bipolar. It is what it is. But learning to cope and deal with those is how you push through the negative times. So here we are now. That's January. We're filming. Everything is going great. I'm trying, like I said, I'm working myself out. I'm learning, different new techniques to pull myself out. But I know February is coming up, and now February is harder. I told you December, January, and February are always the hard months. My mom, who passed away, birthday is in February, and it's just something that it always stick with you. Coming up, that date is approaching. I try my best to stay mindful, but I just never know what type of mind frame I'm going to be in. I never know how I'm going to react. It's fair as that. Like, she was my mom. I lost my mom. It's her birthday. I don't know. I could want to be happy. I just don't know how I'm going to genuinely feel on this day. So, coming around that day, I was just trying to I knew I wasn't in a great headspace already for the previous months. So it was like, I just got to keep pushing forward. Keep pushing forward. And that's how I wanted to do it. Just keep pushing forward, taking it day by day, trying to get out of this funk, trying to create new ways for me to get out the house and move forward. Like I knew I was out of it, because I really don't even remember it, around that time. I don't think I left my house. I don't even think I left my room that day. Like, it was not, I didn't prosper at all. I was not in the right headspace throughout that day for me to, it came. That's all I can say is it came. I assumed, and it happened, because I really don't remember much, but the key, I know it wasn't the best. But yeah, February happened. Now, like I said, I was trying to work on me, trying to mentally prepare myself, but also, you're trying to be there for your loved ones. You're trying to be there for your family. And of course, like I said, I was having bad relationship problems. Like, we weren't in the best. Like I said, this quarantine is either made you or broke you. Financially, relationship wise, and my relationship wasn't doing so well during the quarantine. It did not do so well. It exposed a lot of things that I'm grateful for. It exposed a lot of things that I am just being content with. It exposed a lot of things that I'm no longer willing to accept. So moving forward, it was just, it puts you in one of those, what am I doing? Like, why am I accepting this? You know, I'm sitting here trying to focus on you and be there for you and be the best partner that I can be for you, and whatever that entails, with you not communicating effectively, with you not communicating honestly. But it's like I'm hiding the fact that I'm in this deep depression from you, because I'm just trying to make sure you're in the best mental state that you can be in. But you are making it harder on me because you aren't being honest, and you aren't being truthful to what you're saying, and your actions aren't living up to your words. So it was like I was doing double duty. I'm trying to worry about your mental health, but I'm also worried about mine. And you're not really caring about mine because you're working on yours. And it's okay. You got to work on yourself and be there for you in order for you to be there for somebody else. But it made me realize, like, if I can honestly think about you, but you're not thinking about me, then it obviously means that I care about you a lot more than you cared about me. So I'm in a process of finding out ways to dig myself out of this depression. And as I'm focusing on me and trying to do that, I'm losing my partner. And mind you, this isn't someone I just decided to be with in the past 7 years, you know, exclusively. Like, we collectively have been together for 11 years. So it was hard. It was something that I wanted to fight for. It was something that I believed in, only because not only because I invested 11 years into it, but I genuinely fell in love with this person slowly but surely. Like, it wasn't, we were friends. We started a relationship and we grew, we prospered. We didn't just jump into this. It was something, like I said, worth 11 years of of time and effort put into it. So when I started to see that failing, it was something that I did not want to let go of. So I'm trying now to get myself together. I'm realizing I can't physically pull myself out of this depression. I can't even rely on my partner to get me out of this depression. I'm filming, I'm shooting, I'm doing the things that make me happy, but I'm still not being happy. And so it's like I'm going through spiritual warfare at this moment. What is going on? Why am I not able to pull myself out of this funk? Why am I not able to get out of this depression? And so, I'm diving into my Bible. I'm diving into my spirituality. Like, what is going on? I'm praying. I had been missing church. And mind you, this whole quarantine, I was in church every Sunday faithfully. On that Zoom, whether it was Periscope, whether it was Facebook Live, I was in church faithfully every Sunday this entire quarantine. But now, from this December to January, now I'm going into February, I'm losing it. I'm missing weeks out of church. I'm just not getting the knowledge that I need. And a lot of people play, on church on Sundays, and they play the Bible. I don't play with my Jesus. I don't play with my God, and I don't play about my Holy Spirit. They provide me with so much fuel and so much strength and so much knowledge to push through, that when I do not get them, I am physically sick. I can't. Like, I don't care. You can say it's an scapegoat for me to escape reality. If I don't get my word, I cannot function. I cannot make the right decisions that I'm supposed to do if I don't have the word guiding me. Because I personally will do things that I know is not of God and that He's asking me not to do. If I don't have my support system behind me, if I don't have my word guiding me and pushing me forward, I can fall victim. My mind gets very played with by the devil. Not even putting it on the devil. My mind it travels. So if I don't get my word, I fall into the wrong things. And God was telling me, and God had been telling me for some time, because I was realizing I was unhappy, that I needed to leave my situation for me to be happy. And me being still trying to be of the world, I figured I could have my cake and eat it too. God literally showed me signs. I would pray for signs and pray for discernment. And God told me literally one Sunday through my pastor, I'm not going to bless you until you leave that man alone. I will not bless you and provide you with what you've been praying for until you leave that situation alone. And I refused to. I stuck in it. I found ways for me to, keep this relationship, for me to bow down, for me to get back into, and for me to submit to this man. I always knew that I wanted to get married. I always knew that I wanted to have a family. I just never knew who I was going to get married to. The day I saw that man in my dreams at the altar, I saw us. I saw our families. I saw us. I saw us together. And that was, for me, that was what I just thought I needed. So I was going to do everything in my power to stick it out, to make sure that this man knew that I was going to be there for him. I was going to stand by him. I was going to do right by him. I just knew I was destined to make it work because I saw him in my dream. And that just wasn't my reality. God was ready for me to be blessed and move forward with my life, but I was still trying to do the things that he told me to let go of. So he taught me a lesson. But in order for me to get that lesson, he had to do it the hard way. So moving forward now, I wake up one day and it just didn't seem right. I felt like I knew this feeling. I felt this feeling before. And long and behold, that was the day that, we broke up. We ended our 11-year relationship. And it was just like, for me, in that moment when we did break up, it was like I was just starting to come out of that funk. I just started to see, like, okay, I just started sleeping again. I just started feeling better, only for something that I never wanted to happen, which was my relationship to end. Only for it to come to a halt that day. And it didn't hit me, the very day we broke up or decided it to end, But the very next day, I had to go and help my brother propose to his fiance, the mother of his children. It was just like the day after I break up with the person I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with, I am now here hoping and setting him up for his happily ever after. And it was just so, when I say didn't know your own strength, smiling through that, smiling, being there, being genuinely happy for them because I was genuinely happy for them. But it was just like, bruh, it was like another layer to just, Jesus, you keep trying to pull out. You keep trying to get yourself together. You trying to keep your head above water. But it's just like, every time you turn around, it's just like, smack in your face. It's just like, every time you turn around, somebody ready to ding you in your eyes. Just like, it's like, God damn, when can I get a break? Baby, it was just like, what, Tyrese, what more do you want from me? I just couldn't take it anymore. I was done. I had no more fight left in me. I had no desire left in me. I thought, like, how much more can somebody take? It's just like, damn, I did the things the right way this time. I was honest. I had a problem with being vulnerable. I will admit, like, I wasn't perfect. Relationships, you have ups and downs, especially when you've been with each other 11 years. It's just so much, like, people grow, people change, people experience things together, but you give so much of yourself to a relationship that once it's over, you're just like, what? Like, how? I did everything differently this time. I did things I didn't want to do to provide that I can, compromise. Like, how? And like now, It's just like I sit here, I refrain from doing certain things. I don't, I've been removing things out of my life. But it's just like, how could this happen to me? Someone that's trying, someone that, you gave so much. Like, I was supposed to move to Atlanta. I was supposed to had someone that was interested in me, a female who was interested in me, someone who loved me for me, someone who accepted my lifestyle and wanted to be there. Like, I broke her heart, saving myself to be there for you and to be the person that I needed to be for you. And I gave that up, moving to Atlanta, a relationship with them. Like, you were the person I chose to be with. So I did everything. How could you now wake up and just decide it wasn't good enough? Like, how? Like, how did you claimed you loved me. You claimed that, that this is where you wanted to be. You literally just told me a month ago that we never gave each other the right fight. We never fought and actually tried genuinely to, do this last time. Like, try. You wanted me to stay when I was done. You like, I didn't understand how one minute you're saying this, but then your actions told me completely different, and you just left me with you just woke up and decided you can't do it anymore, but you want to give it to somebody else when you just told me you never really gave me a shot. Like, you never really genuinely tried to be the person that I needed you to be in a relationship. It was always me constantly trying and waiting for you and trying to not put too much pressure on you. But you can genuinely tell me that you never really tried and that you wanted to, but then a month later you break it off with me after 11 years. You break it off by admitting that this whole time you genuinely never thought and fought for me the way that I fought for you, and that you wanted to, but now it's done. Like, I didn't know how to recover from that. It didn't settle to me for some weeks after that. Like, it didn't click to me that genuinely that's what was going on. And so it was just like, it was just me. And I'm like, okay, I'm used to this. But why did this time feel so different? So I dive into my spirituality. I'm searching for answers. I'm searching for a way out, because I'm just genuinely not understanding, how did I get here and why am I here when everything I feel like is around me is so destined to be, why am I here? So I started opening up. I started, I went to my Be More Indie family, and I told them, like, hey, we're working on this and we're coming together, but I want you guys to know this is a part of me. This is who I am. I suffer from bipolar depression, and right now it's at an all-time high. That these last couple of months, I don't know who I am. I've been trying to figure out why I've been reacting the way I am. I've been going through so much that I just want y'all to know, like, I'm having a battle right now, but I just need time. But, it's not going to take away from what we're doing here, but I just need some time to figure this out and get myself back mentally. And when I say that was one of the greatest decisions that I made during that era, because they stepped up. Like, genuinely, they stepped up. Was, if anything you need. And it wasn't, how people, oh, if you need anything, give me a call, and then you'll never hear from them. No, it was genuine. They was picking up the phone. Do you need, how you doing today? Did you get out the house? If you need, somebody, you need to talk, I'm here. If you don't feel like talking, just, get some breeze, park the car. Just, it's, when I say my village, when I opened up, my village started pouring out and saying that you don't need to do nothing but just be there, be yourself, and we got you. My Be More Indie family stepped up tremendously. The Pope's congregation was something that it blew my mind to see how many people reached out from my social medias, from my Instagram, from my YouTube, from my TikTok. People genuinely started reaching out and just saying, hey, we noticed you have disappeared. You haven't been yourself. You haven't performed. You haven't, posted in months. I'm just reaching out, doing a mental health check-in. Just checking on you. It was an overwhelming support from my TikTok family, from my YouTube family, from my Be More Indie family, from the Pope's congregation. So many people reached out and was just, I'm here for you. If whatever, just have a great day. So many people reached out and just was there for me during this time that I felt so low. It was overwhelming. It let me, literally, that's what got me out of my funk. It wasn't me. I wasn't able to pull myself out. It was my brother Stacy. It was, my Be More Indie family, the Pope congregation, my best friends, like my right hands, people genuinely in my family that knew me, that know me, that knows, that loves me, that reached out just to be there for me. Like, it was I don't have the words to explain it, but they were there for me. And even in the Bible, the book of Daniel, he started teaching. I was getting back in church and he was teaching about how when Daniel went into the lion's den, he didn't need anything but just be still. He didn't need, the accusers would brought him out, but basically the lesson that I was taught was, you don't need nothing but your village. You don't have to do anything. Let me show you who got your back, okay? Let me show you, it's not all about you. You're not the only one that can do this and do that. You gotta learn to rely on people and be like, hey, I'm not okay. This is what your supporters are here for. This is what your family is here for. You gotta stop taking everything on you. It's okay not to be okay. And once I learned that lesson, the light started to reappear. And I'm just like, I can't. My whole life is like, I felt like I gotta protect myself and I gotta put myself in this box and be about what's going on. Don't, let the world in. Just put on a smile and just, I'm gonna handle it. I'm gonna be okay. But it was the lesson I needed to learn, that you can fall on your village. I needed to learn the lesson that you can fall on the people that got your back, and they will, all you gotta do is just stand. When there's nothing left to do, just stand. And literally, I stood there and my village pulled me out. They saved me. It wasn't no money. It wasn't no, like, nothing they did physically. It was just them being there. It was just them investing time. It was just them giving me my space, allowing me to figure things out, figure out, why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling secluded? Why and do I not, cannot be around, or why do I feel like I have to just stick and stay by myself? But they were there when I needed them. When I needed, my friends came out of nowhere. They took me out. We spent time together. Whenever I was trying to reintegrate myself into, society and communicating with folk, they were patient with me. They were understanding. They weren't just like, well, why you ain't call nobody? Or, why? It's hard. It's hard to be in that situation and be like, hey guys, I'm feeling so overwhelmed right now, but I don't know why I'm feeling overwhelmed. Hey guys, I know on the outside looking in, you thinking I got money, which and all that. I'm supposed to be happy. I'm filming. I'm supposed to be happy, but I'm genuinely not happy. I don't know why. I'm here. I'm present, but I don't feel here. I feel empty. It's hard to say that to people that's with a smile on your face. It's hard to say that to people, and you look great on the outside because you think they're gonna judge you. Like, well, when somebody's going through something, one of the things that pisses me off is somebody like, are you taking your medicine? Like, it can be a genuine question, but it's a trigger for somebody going through something, because it's just like, yeah, it's like it's hard. So, but my village stepped up. My village saved me, and they pulled me through. And I'm so thankful for my village because December, the loss of her, January, the seasonal depression, then my mom's birthday, and then the ending of my relationship. Those that it hit me. It was back to back to back deaths, breakups. Like I know, shoot, it happens. It's life, but in the middle of living in a pandemic, you going through so much, and you already just mentally in a whole different world, living in this. We've been living with corona for a year. It mentally was just a lot, and on top of that, stuff just kept piling up, and it tried to break me, but God, my God said, not my child. Yeah, I went through spiritual warfare because I wasn't listening and I wasn't doing the things that he told me to do. And that's why I wasn't able to prosper until I started to realize you need to do the things that he told you to do, because you're only hurting yourself. I can't blame it on the devil. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. And I eventually had to pay the price for it. So that's what was going on. Yeah, I was, technically I was depressed. But in my mind, it was not depression. I mean, it was depression, but it was my fault. Because I didn't do what God told me to do. I knew that. So, I got out. I'm alive. I'm well. I'm in a much better headspace. I had not been in that dark, dark place in a long time, which is why I think it had that much of a negative effect on me. But I just wanted to say thank you guys for all of your prayers. Thank you for your support. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for genuinely caring about me, because the amount of people that reached out, the amount of people that checked up, the amount of people, literally, I should have written down, like, I don't want to be that type of person to pinpoint everybody, but I want to give you guys your accolades. Like, literally, I appreciate from down to Mason Walls, from Pope, down to the Pope, down to Black Dust, Denia, Precious, Stacy, my fave six. Like, y'all just won't let me down ever. I don't want to forget anybody. So many people reached out, from Coach Kemp, Mama Calhoun, or Mama Hendricks, excuse me. So many people, like, literally didn't just, oh, what's going on? Like, genuinely reached out, messaged me. I'm here. Like, these techniques, this is what is going on. This can help you. I don't want to forget anybody, but there's just so many. My LGBT, Papi, Oijo, Smio, Papi, I love you. James, my LGBT, LWF wrestling family, I love you guys. You guys help. Oh my God. I cannot express. I am the EST of the LWF for a reason, and you guys are phenomenal. I love you guys so much. When I say I genuinely love the relationship I have with each and every single one of y'all in the LWF, I cannot thank you guys so much for being the supportive family that you guys have been over the years. Everybody who reached out, everybody who genuinely had a concern, I am well. I'm grateful to be still here. I'm thankful to still be here. And I'm mostly thankful for all of you. And that's just something I genuinely want to say thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. And we are back. We are back. We are back. And I am better than ever. This has been your dose of reality. I am your favorite non-binary supernova, reminding you to spread love and less hate. Take care.